Hi everyone, my name is Leanne and today I'm bringing you another book haul. This time, a birthday book haul. I turned the grand age of 26, still in my mid-20s. I felt like such a lucky girl on my birthday. I did so many fun things. My housemates were absolutely amazing and they decorated the house. They made this amazing cake and they put like a Manchester United crest on it, and I wish I'd taken a photo of that, but the cake was superb. In the evening I went to Dishoom with Anna and we went to a comedy show and it was great. And I also received many books and I'm very grateful. And I've decided it doesn't matter how many books are on my TBR at the end of the year. I can't blame it on my birthday. I can't blame it on other people, because really I could have just been acquiring fewer books throughout the course of the year. But did I do that? No, I didn't. Now, before we get into the birthday books, there are a couple of other things that I want to talk about. The first of those is the amazing Christmas package that I was sent by Book Break. Book Break being Pam Macmillan's YouTube channel run by the wonderful Emma, and she sent the most wonderful Christmas present. So not only do we have an amazing Book Break tote bag, but we also have a Book Break mug, which I will be sipping lots of tea from. It came with its own tea bag as well. There was a candy cane, there was like whatever this cute little thing is. There was this beautiful Christmas decoration with my name on it, and there were some cozy socks. And I shit you not, the morning this package arrived, like before the postie had come, I was thinking I could really do with getting some more cozy socks. And then they just arrived. Christmas magic. And of course, there was also some books. So we have this beautiful hardback picture book called Robin Robin, which I believe is based around a Netflix film that they've also made into a picture book. So very excited to get cozy and read this one. You know I love a picture book. We have Midnight in the Snow by Karen Swan. Somehow I worked at Pam Macmillan for 18 months and never managed to read a Karen Swan book, so maybe now is the time. And this book, I was so excited when I saw this book was in the package. This is The Winter of Second Chances by Jenny Bayliss. I read The 12 Dates of Christmas last year, and you know I love a festive rom-com, a festive romance. That is right up my street. And this book is all about Annie Sharp, who seems to have the perfect life. You know, she's got this really well-acclaimed restaurant that she owns with her husband. She has 2 grown-up sons. But when her husband Max commits one indiscretion too many, she is off. She is out of there. And in search of a fresh start, she takes up a job as the caretaker of a beach house. I loved The 12 Dates of Christmas. I thought it was a little predictable, but I'm not complaining about that in a Christmas, like fluffy romance tale. It's kind of quite comforting to know where you're going to end up and just enjoy the journey. So I am very excited to read another book by this author. So thank you very much, Emma, for sending all this my way and for your psychic abilities in knowing that I needed new socks. I also have 3 proofs that I've grabbed from work. I'm in the process of kind of figuring out how I talk about books that I work with on the channel. So bear with me as I kind of figure out how that dynamic is going to work. But these 3 books I'm so excited about, so I'm going to tell you about them. This is The Hunt for the Nightingale by Sarah Ann Jukes. This is a book that is all about a young boy's experiences of grief, but also the significant role that nature plays in his life. I would say this is on the slightly more literary side of children's writing. A really beautiful story, really excited to read the complete novel. I've read some bits of it before, but I've not read the whole thing, so very excited, and it comes out in January. Next, I have a YA book, and that is When Our Worlds Collided by Danielle Giwando, who you may remember from her novel And the Stars Were Burning Brightly. This book follows the aftermath of a 14-year-old being stabbed outside a shopping centre in Manchester, and how it brings together 3 teenagers who wouldn't have really interacted if it weren't for this chance encounter. It's about experiences of discrimination, of how Black people and particularly Black teenagers can be treated by the police. I think this is going to be a really important novel to read. And finally, from the books that I have from work, I have Onyeka and the Academy of the Sun by Tola Ekogwu. This is the start of a middle grade series that is all about our British Nigerian main character Onyeka, who realizes that she is part of a group called the Solari, and she is sent to this kind of school training camp so she can learn how to harness and use her superpowers. And her superpower comes from her incredible hair. I love this proof. It is so shiny, and I think this is exactly the kind of superhero book that children's fiction has needed. Now, let's get into the birthday books. I know I could have done an unboxing video for this, but do you think I had the patience to wait until I had time to film to open? No. I'm not going to go through these in any kind of particular order just the way I've got them piled up here. The Sea by Iris Murdoch. Now this was recommended to me by Kieran over at KD Books, and Kieran recommended this to me on the basis that it was like Ex on the Beach but old people, and I was so in with that description, but there's a little part of me that just didn't trust him. And Kieran knows me. Kieran knows that the only way I'm gonna read this book is if he like forces me to. So he just bought it for me. But you know, I'm excited. This cover is beautiful as well. And like, man, look at that spine. Like, she is fit. So we're going in. We're gonna dive in. Legitimately though, thank you, Kieran. You didn't need to buy me a present. That was very sweet of you. I also have two books. Two books. It's too many. From my absolute bae, my ride or die, Aoife, over at Words of Clover. She bought me Weird Fucks, which I honestly just added to my wish list on the basis of the title and the pink. And I think this is essentially like a collection of vignettes about a woman's experiences of, well, what it says on the tin, Weird Fucks. And you know what we love? What we really love around here? A short book. We love a short book. I really want to give a big, huge disclaimer here that Kira and I am genuinely very grateful. I just didn't realise how big this was. Aoife also sent me Republic of Shame, which is a non-fiction book all about the abuses of the Catholic Church in Ireland and how women have been mistreated and the network of institutions that oppressed women. There are so many shameful things in Ireland's past with regard to young mothers and babies born outside of marriage, and it's something that we can't shy away from. It's something that we need to educate ourselves on and figure out how we move on from this history of shame. As you may know, Aoife and I host the Irish Readathon together, which is a month focused on reading more Irish literature than you normally would, and I think this is one I'm going to save for my TBR for them because I think it's something that people might be interested in hearing more about when we are talking about Irish things around March. Speaking of Irish things, I was also sent a copy of Sushi for Beginners by Marion Keyes, but this one didn't actually come with a gift note. I don't know if the packers just didn't print the gift note or what, but if you did send me this one, please let me know down below in the comments or send me a DM on Twitter or Instagram or something, because I would love to thank you personally. Thank you so much. Huge Marion Keyes fan, always read one of her books during the Irish Readathon, but now I have two on my TBR, so I can allow myself to read one before then. So thank you so much, whoever you are, for sending me this. I much appreciate it. My girl Anna also very kindly gave me two books. The first of those being Empress and Anaya by Candice Carty-Williams. You may know this author as the author of Queenie, which was a book that I absolutely adored, and this is the first piece of YA fiction that she has written, and it is about two girls who go to the same school but do not see eye to eye. They are definitely not best friends. But when they accidentally cast a spell, they end up switching bodies and things spiral from there. I love a book that is about female friendship. I love a book that has magic. So very excited to delve into this one. I think it's going to be the perfect book to just settle down with a warm beverage and read it from cover to cover. Can we just have a moment to appreciate the sheer work of art that is Angela Carter's Book of Fairy Tales? Honestly, when I opened this in front of Anna, I like opened the paper ever so slightly and then I was like, wait, I know what this is. Because I know Anna is a huge Angela Carter stan. I've read quite a lot of Angela Carter, but there's also a lot that I still haven't read yet. And I just desperately wanted to own this beautiful object. Angela Carter's versions of fairy tales, in my experience from what I've already read, really bring out the dark aspects that were originally in these fairy tales, but also give them this kind of feminist twist. So they are definitely far away from the Disney-fied version of fairy tales that we have gotten used to over the years. This is just so beautiful. I love. The wonderful Sylvie over at the TBR Diaries, by the way, everyone I've mentioned will be linked down below in the description, sent me With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. Moment of appreciation for a book that doesn't add to my TBR. I read With the Fire on High maybe like a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and I loved it. I thought it was so good. This book is about a teenage mum who really wants to be a chef, and the food writing in this book is absolutely incredible, but alongside following her aspirations for her culinary career, she's also supporting her 2-year-old child. And it's about her balancing all of these things, balancing school, balancing what she wants to do for her career, balancing being a mother. And it's an incredible book, and I didn't own a copy of it, and I really wanted to because I loved it so much, and also because this book's cover is beautiful. Like, look at it. It's stunning. Thank you so much, Aoife over at Pretty Purple Polka Dots, for sending me a copy of The Intimacy Experiment by Rosie Danan. This was one where I opened the package, and before I'd even seen the gift note, I knew it was Aoife that had sent me this one, because we both really enjoyed Rosie Danan's previous book, The Roommate. And if you've also read The Roommate, you may remember Naomi from that book. and Naomi is our main character in this book. So everything is going incredibly well for Naomi. Her sex positive startup is gone on to global success, and her responsibilities shift from the bedroom to the boardroom. And Naomi wants to extend this enterprise into live lecturing. However, despite all of her qualifications, no one will hire her. And she meets some guy, and then they do some stuff and they bang. I really enjoyed The Roommate. I mean, I really enjoyed The Roommate, so I think I'm gonna really get on with this one as well. The amazing Charlotte over at Books and Bargains sent me a copy of The Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch by Tom Fletcher. I read the first Christmasaurus book a couple of years ago and I thought it was so much festive fun, so I'm definitely expecting the same from The Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch. There's dinosaurs, there's Christmas magic, there's the North Pole. I am in. This is gonna be so much cozy Christmas fun, and can we look at these sprayed edges? This is a gorgeous cover. Shannon over at 155 Books sent me a copy of The Million Pieces of Nina Gill by Emma Smith Barton. This is a YA book that has been recommended to me by lots of different people, and it follows our main character Nina, who is grappling with the aftermath of her brother disappearing. And I think this is a book that has a lot to do with mental health struggles as well, and handles those mental health struggles in a really sensitive and powerful and nuanced way. Shannon said in her note that she adores this book and wanted more people to talk about it with, so I am very excited to read this so we can share our thoughts on it. Thank you so much, Shannon, for sending this one to me. Another book that I did not need to check the gift note before I knew who it was. This is A Curious History of Sex by Kate Lister, and this was of course sent to me by Charlotte over at Coiny Reads. Thank you so much for sending this to me. This is a book I have wanted to read for the longest time. I mean, it's pretty much what it says on the tin. It's a history book all about sex. I love history, I love sex. There's pictures in here. Literally just seeing a photo of a ball bag. I think this is gonna make fascinating reading. I am so excited to read this book. This has quickly become like one of my most anticipated reads. Shar over at Thoroughly Enjoyed Books sent me a copy of We All Begin as Strangers by Harriet Cummings. Thank you so much, Shar, for sending this one to me. This is giving me like Leanne Moriarty vibes. I cannot remember who recommended this to me, but I know whoever it was, when they recommended it, it went straight onto my wish list. I've read a few Leanne Moriarty books over the years and I've enjoyed them to varying degrees, but I think she is definitely the kind of thriller writer that I do enjoy. So I think this is kind of like an English Village version of Leanne Moriarty. So family secrets, lots of neighborhood curtain twitching. Very excited to read this one. One of my IRL pals sent me 2 books that I am so excited to read that I'm hoping I will get to around Christmas time, and they are 2 children's books. The first of them being The Christmas Carols. Moment of appreciation for these sprayed edges. The Carols are the most Christmassy family around. They celebrate Christmas all year round, all 365 days or 366 in a leap year. They love it all. The merriment, the fairy lights. But when they move house and Holly moves to a new school, not everyone is as festive as her. In fact, she's facing a lot of judgment for how festive she is. Is the world's most Christmassy girl about to lose her Christmas spirit? I bloody hope not. But we're gonna have to read it to find out, aren't we? And then I also have The Boy with Wings by Lenny Henry. Really excited to read this one. It's quite a slim book that is all about our main character Tunde, who, like the title says, he sprouts wings and he learns that he is all that stands between the world and total destruction. And alongside his group of friends who totally have his back, it is up to Tunde to save the world. This is definitely going to be another one of those get into bed with a cup of tea, read it in one sitting, cozy reading experiences. And the final book I have to talk to you about is Pain and Prejudice by Gabrielle Jackson. Thank you so much, Rosie, for sending me a copy of this book. It's one that I think is going to be such an important non-fiction read, and it's about a topic that I have so much interest in. You guys know that I love reading books about women's experiences and women's bodies. But this is a book particularly about women's experiences of pain, of medical treatment or a lack of treatment, of medical misunderstanding, of them not being listened to. It's a book about how women's pain is often dismissed and how dangerous that can be. So once again, thank you so much, Rosie. I think this is going to be such an important read and one that I'm going to get so much out of. So there we have it. There are all the books. I'm not going to tell you what number my TBR is at because it doesn't matter anymore. I'll tell you at the end of the year when I do my like reading stats and stuff. Let's see how much I can get read in December. Can I read a book a day? I mean, if that's what I need to do, which also I still don't think that would be enough. I'm already behind. Thank you so much to everyone who was so generous for my birthday. I feel so lucky and so blessed, and thank you. All of the books I've mentioned will be linked down below in the description if you want to find out more about them. And my bookish pals who have been so generous will be linked down below in the description as well, and I would really encourage you to check out their channels. If you don't have anything in particular to say, leave me your favorite celebration emoji, whether it's a cake, whether it's the party popper, whether it's the dancing red lady. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will speak to you in my next video.